Hi, my name is Jacob Ward, and this is my informative speech on drunk driving. The second you step in your car, you're putting your life and others' lives at risk. You never know what could happen when you're driving. You're also at a lot bigger risk when you're driving drunk. There are a lot of people that have lost your loved ones due to driving under the influence, texting and driving, or just not paying attention at the wheel. My dad, for example, was at his friend's house drinking for most of the day. Then it was getting late and he wanted to drive home. He was drunk and was not driving very well, and a cop pulled him over. He got charged for DUI just because he had a few beers. Even though he had a few beers, you could still get pulled over for a different reason and still get caught. After listening to my speech, you'll be informed on different facts about driving drunk. There's never any excuses to drive drunk. No point in putting people's lives at risk to get somewhere. First, I'd like to talk to you about some consequences of driving drunk. There's so many things that could go wrong when you drive drunk, and many lives are lost due to not making smart decisions. You must know when you're okay to drive and when you are not. If you choose to drive when you are intoxicated, you are driving impaired and you have a higher chance of getting pulled over. When you are drunk, you make dumb decisions, which causes attention. If a cop were to see you make dumb decisions, he would pull you over and give you a DUI. The cop send the cop will send you to jail for 24 hours, give you a ticket or 24 hours minimum, give you a ticket for $800 minimum, suspend your license for 90 days, give you ignition interlock for 1 year, drug and alcohol classes, and be on probation for 5 years. All this seems like a lot, but it is much better to do this than to put people's lives at risk by making dumb decisions. Doing your time and paying your fines is better than getting people killed. When you are drunk, you tend to drive recklessly. Mostly when you have peers in the car with you, you try to impress them. When you are drunk, you seem to have an abnormally big ego. Being egotistical is when you're being excessively conceited or being self-centered. You think you can do whatever you want, so you try to impress others by trying to prove yourself. When you're driving drunk, you like to go fast because you feel like you're more powerful. It ends up getting carried away and being drunk. You can't keep control of it. Many disasters happen due to being under the influence while driving. In the year 2012, nearly 10,300 people were killed in a drunk driving accident. Some people aren't even drunk, but ride with their friends that are and end up getting in an accident. It goes to show that it could really happen to anybody even if you're not drunk. There are always alternatives to keep people from driving under the influence. A lot of people regret driving drunk, but at the time thought it was a great idea to either drive home, get something to eat, go to a friend's house, or whatever it was that was so important that made you want to drive drunk. But one good way to make sure you'll be prepared for a ride home is by having a designated driver. Make plans ahead of time and see who is going to drive and make sure that person does not drink during the night so he can drive everybody home safe. Another good way to make sure you won't have problems with a DUI is to make sure that wherever you're drinking at, there's a safe place to sleep so you can wake up in the morning and be sober enough to drive. People tend to drive home because they want to sleep in their bed, but when they say that, it's a surefire way you know they're not sober enough to drink or to drive. When you get really drunk, people get sleepy and and pass out. A lot of people pass out behind the wheel because they're so tired. If they're so tired, they can find a place to sleep at wherever they're at and wake up sober enough in the morning to drive. Now I've given you good alternatives to keep people from driving drunk. Let's talk about what we have covered. Today, I explained three important facts about drunk driving: the consequences of a DUI, disasters of drunk driving, and good alternatives to keep people from drunk driving. These are very important to keep in mind when planning on having a fun night with your friends. It is never worth it to drive drunk, and large consequences can take place if the situation was not taken care of the right way. This is my informative speech, and thanks for listening.